Chapter 4509. With Lu Yin's current immortal realm cultivation, his mirroring technique had been calculated to allow him to see the distance of an immortal realm cultivator's speed for 200 years. This was nearly 3 times more than before, and it was quite a distance. In another 100 years, he would be able to see the Red Coat civilization directly. It wasn't that he didn't want to, but that it was too exhausting. Even he was tired after calculating a distance of 200 years. He thought of the divine realm and decided to go take a look. After the battle between the 3 universes, the God King and Nibiru had both fled. Lu Yin wasn't in a hurry to find him because he didn't know how to face the God King. Fight? Impossible. Not fight? He wasn't willing to give up, so he had delayed until now. His mirroring technique could allow him to see the distance of an eternal life realm cultivator's speed within 200 years. He could see the God King, but the God King couldn't see him. Lu Yin teleported again and again until he was within 200 years of the eternal life realm cultivator's speed. It's gone? Lu Yin was shocked. He rubbed his eyes and teleported again. This was a distance of about 100 years, but when he looked carefully, it was indeed gone. The divine realm civilization was gone? He couldn't be wrong. This was where the divine realm civilization had been. The mother tree was still there, but the creatures of the divine realm were all gone. Lu Yin teleported into the divine realm civilization and stood on top of the mother tree as he looked around. This universe was completely devoid of creatures from the divine realm civilization, and there were only a few other creatures. He looked around and saw many universes. These universes were the same as before, and there were no changes. The creatures in these universes were still living according to the laws that the divine realm civilization had set for them. However, they didn't know that the gods they knew were gone. The divine realm civilization controlled many universes, and there were traces that could be followed. There was no need to search for them. Lu Yin looked around, and sure enough, he couldn't find a single creature from the divine realm civilization. Was the entire civilization gone? It hadn't been long since the battle between the 3 universes, and the God King must have relied on a portal to return. If the entire divine realm civilization was gone, could it have also relied on an unknown portal? The Xuanhuan couldn't have destroyed the divine realm civilization. He couldn't bear the burden of karma, and it was impossible for him to leave no traces behind. The only explanation was that the divine realm civilization had run away. By borrowing the Xuanhuan's strength? What conditions had the Xuanhuan agreed to? In exchange for the God King attacking the human civilization? If Lu Yin wanted an answer, he could only look for Xuanhuan. However, the answer was not important. The divine realm civilization had run away. With the 3 universes as the center, there were no fishing civilizations within the distance of the eternal life realm within 1,000 years. Unless there were creatures plotting against the 3 universes, the 3 universes would not encounter an unexpected civilization war. He should be safe now. The purpose of his trip was to warn the divine realm civilization, and this was the best outcome. Unfortunately, the godly king's attack on the 3 universes had not been avenged. Let's talk about it in the future. After leaving the divine realm, Lu Yin searched for universes that were under the control of the divine realm civilization and absorbed the green light from the mother tree. He then searched for Delight City and confirmed its location. 3 years later, he finally returned to the 3 universes. He had spent 3 years keeping an eye on Joy City and confirmed that Joy City had no intention of changing its direction. Now it wasn't heading towards the 3 universes. It seemed to be aimless. After this battle, La City would definitely need some time to recover. He was also looking for an opportunity to let the White Bone clone enter Joy City again. Now was not the time. As soon as he returned to the Xuanhuan universe, a figure sat quietly in the back of a mountain. He tapped the table with his fingers as he looked at the starry sky. Lu Yin walked out of the void and sat down beside the stone table. The figure turned around and smiled at Lu Yin. "Your Highness chess piece, we meet again. Don't tell me you don't welcome me?" Lu Yin calmly looked at the person opposite him. It was Xuanhuan. "I said that if you want to come, you're welcome at any time." Xuanhuan smiled and nodded. "But Miss Long, she doesn't seem to welcome me. I've been sitting here for a year, but she hasn't made me tea even once." Lu Yin's tone was calm. "That's her fault." Then, his voice traveled to the back of the mountain. "Make tea for Xuanhuan." When Long she heard Lu Yin's voice, she heaved a sigh of relief and silently made tea. Xuanhuan smiled brightly. "Thank you. Home is still the most comfortable." Lu Yin didn't say anything and waited quietly. Soon the tea was served. Long she calmly poured tea for the 2. Lu Yin picked up the teacup and looked at Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan shrugged and picked up the teacup as well. "Your Highness chess piece, let me toast you." Lu Yin's lips curled up, but he didn't drink. There aren't any special spices in this tea, right? Wang Wen blinked and looked at the tea. Long Shi said, there aren't any in the tea, but there are in the cup. Wang Wen was speechless and silently put down the teacup. Lu Yin looked at him. Come have a sip. You're toasting me. Why don't you drink it yourself? Wang Wen smiled. Nope. So timid? There's nothing in the universe that can poison you. But it can disgust me, Wang Wen said. He looked at Long Shi and smiled even more brightly. Miss Long Shi, just tell me what you added. I won't drink it anyway. Long Shi was disgusted. She didn't answer and turned to leave. Wang Wen sighed. I'm not liked by my family. It's so frustrating. I feel like I've lost a lot. You've never really gotten it, Lu Yin said. Wang Wen smiled and looked at Lu Yin. This is the first time I've spoken to you like this. Thinking back, how long have we known each other? Lu Yin took another sip of tea. Almost 4,000 years. Wang Wen looked nostalgic. 4,000 years? It's such a short time, but why does it feel so long? It seems longer than the entire history of the Tianyuan universe. Too many things have happened since the birth of the Above Heaven sect, from its glory to its decline, but it has never given me such a feeling. I've been thinking about it for a year, and the answer is you. Then he looked at Lu Yin and said, Your Highness chess piece, because of your appearance, everything has changed. Time has sped up and things have become more interesting. Schemes have become more treacherous, developing in a direction that even I might not be able to see clearly. Lu Yin put down the teacup. You think too highly of me. I've been fooled by you from the beginning. Wang Wen laughed. Not really. I didn't expect you to be able to defeat an eternal in the Tianyuan universe. I also didn't expect you to surpass the spiritualized universe and rise step by step in the ninth heaven universe. I also didn't expect you to obtain teleportation and kill Ming Yu and the others with your rogue-level cultivation. You've brought me too many surprises. But that's not important. The most important thing is that you've given me unexpected happiness. Lu Yin raised his eyebrows. Happiness? Wang Wen said, yes. It's like raising a docile kitten that doesn't know anything. You have to teach it bit by bit and guide it bit by bit, turning the kitten into a tiger and an even bigger beast. But this beast also has extraordinary intelligence and can always surpass its own thoughts. The line seems to be broken, but it's not. The other end of the line can turn the world upside down at any time and throw the owner of the line into the sky. This kind of happiness is more exciting than any game. So the time I spent with you was long, but time passed quickly. Lu Yin placed his arm on the stone table and slowly turned the teacup with his fingers. Should I be honored by your words? Wang Wen smiled and took a sip of the teacup. You should. As soon as he finished speaking, he looked at the teacup in a daze. He drank it in a moment of happiness and didn't realize it. Perhaps it was a habit, but he drank it. He turned to Lu Yin. Please ask Miss Long Shi what she added to the teacup. Lu Yin asked loudly, what did you add to the teacup? Long Shi's voice came from afar. Fertilizer. What kind of fertilizer? Lu Yin asked again. Long Shi said, fertilizer for flowers. I put some in the cup. Lu Yin looked at Wang Wen. Fertilizer for flowers. Wang Wen was speechless. I heard that. Lu Yin grunted and raised the teacup. Here's to you. Wang Wen looked at Lu Yin silently. I wanted to bury everything. Master of Calamity, God King, Nibby, Red Hero, and Tell the Heavens. This lineup should be enough to respect the three universes. It's enough. It failed. I don't know what to say, but it should have succeeded. You're the ancestor of the Wang family and also a human. Why must you destroy humanity? Wang Wen said, I'm different from the humans you know. How should I put it? The distance of a square inch isn't something that only civilizations can pass down. Lu Yin was stunned and looked at Wang Wen. What do you mean? Wang Wen shrugged. In short, don't treat me as a human. Me and humans are humans. If there's a chance, I'll definitely capture you and see your karma clearly, no matter how long it takes. Wang Wen was delighted. Alright, I'm looking forward to that day. But for now, Your Highness, you don't even have the right to die with me. Lu Yin knew that Zhao Tian, who had been at its peak, had been beaten up so badly by Wang Wen that it had not even dared to return home. In the end, Wang Wen had even used it to attack the three universes. One could imagine just how great of a psychological shadow Wang Wen had left on Zhao Tian. If Zhao Tian was like this, then there was no need to mention Lu Yin. Lu Yin was well aware of his own strength. He couldn't beat Wang Wen even if he went all out. We're done with the small talk. I'm here to tell you that Nibby has refused to join the unknowns. Your Highness, you've won this round, Wang Wen said. They were both smart people and Lu Yin wouldn't deny it. It's too early to say that. Red Hero is an idiot. He's so strong but he was used by others. First it was me and now it's you. Sometimes, it's better to play with brains than to play with strength. He's just recognizing the situation. Wrong. He's getting more and more confused, which is very scary. He's not afraid of playing with smart people, but he's afraid of playing with idiots. The Divine Realm civilization has disappeared. Lu Yin didn't want to dwell on the topic of Red Hero. Finding Red Hero had been Grandmaster Grass's idea. He wasn't afraid of Xuanhuan, but he was worried that Xuanhuan would deal with Grandmaster Grass and the others. Xuanhuan said, "I gave you the path." "What path?" "The path to leave." "Leave where?" Xuanhuan looked at Lu Yin. "Around here, of course." Lu Yin's gaze turned solemn. "This branch?" Xuanhuan nodded slowly. "You can describe it that way. A tree would have branches, and in the macroscopic concept of a square inch, the distance between branches was abnormally large. Some distances were even difficult for Eternal Realm cultivators to cross. End of chapter. Chapter 45:10. The biggest branch they were on was the Divine Tree, and the Divine Plume Tree was second only to the Divine Plume Tree. Below that was the Mother Tree of the Divine World Civilization and so on. When the Divine World Civilization left this branch, they must have gone to other branches. Why did they leave? Because the environment doesn't allow it. If they can't adapt to the environment, they will be eliminated by the environment. What's so strange about that? Xuanhuan said casually. Of course, you can also understand it as they can't survive. You're saying that this branch is very dangerous? Lu Yin asked. You mean this branch is very dangerous? Xuanhuan smiled and looked at Lu Yin. Your Highness, don't suddenly use your heaven's eye. You can't do that. I don't plan on doing that. That's good. Your question is very good. I'll give you the answer. Xuanhuan turned the teacup and said in a low voice, the most dangerous. Lu Yin raised his eyebrows. Yes, the Divine World Civilization is a fishing civilization, but they still have to run. What do you think? Lu Yin looked away. Is that so? Xuanhuan got up. Okay, I should go. It's good to chat. You think of a way to kill me and I think of a way to destroy the three universes. Everyone has something to do, haha. Then he stepped out and disappeared. All right. Suddenly he turned back and looked at Lu Yin. To make it more interesting, I'll give you a notice. Lu Yin slowly looked up and stared at him. The one who will destroy the three universes will be the Death Universe, Xuanhuan said, and his voice faded until it disappeared. Lu Yin sat quietly and didn't even notice that She had taken away the teacup. A notice? The one who will destroy the three universes will be the Death Universe? Did he really think so? Or did he see something? A few days later, Lu Yin came to the consciousness universe and looked at the empty sky. This used to be where the heavenly palace was, but now there was nothing. The ancestor had left. Would they really meet again? When? Where? What would it be like if they met again? Lu Yin stayed in the consciousness universe for a while and then went to Lu Tianjing. He was saying goodbye to another path, and it would be in the next few hundred years. A few hundred years was a short time. Standing in front of the Lu family cemetery, Lu Yin looked at the new tombstones. They were all the Lu family members who had died in the war. Among them, the most important ones were Lu Feiyang and Lu Hui. One of them was a life-or-death calamity who had died from a palm strike. At the beginning of the war, he had been hanged on the Black Plaza and had even been bestowed with the Bone Language. One died at the hands of Red Hero. After saving Jiang Feng and Ancestor Qin, he was killed by Red Hero. Lu Yin still remembered the first time he had seen them. It hadn't seemed like much time had passed, but everything had changed. Every member of the Lu family who had awakened the teleportation talent was a genius. Once awakened, their status would be completely different. They would enjoy the best training resources of the human civilization and receive the training methods tailored for them. They could learn anything they wanted. In the past, many people were jealous of them, but now there was only silent admiration. When a person's virtue does not match his position, he should not enjoy the benefits that come with his position. As for people like Lu Feiyang and Lu Hui, although they enjoyed the best resources in the world, they also received the most suitable education. Their morals and ideals were compatible with them. No one could say no to their preferential treatment. Apart from them, many other Lu clan disciples had also been sacrificed. People were constantly paying their respects. The world can see what they have gained, but they can't see what they have lost. This time the world is seeing a tragic price. Patriarch Lu Yuan sighed and looked at the mausoleum with a dim gaze. Lu Yin looked at the sky. In the distance, the branches of the mother tree were emerald green. Now, it was the only mother tree in the three universes. The mother tree in the Nina Firmament's universe had already collapsed. The sound of children playing could be heard in the distance, followed by the scolding of adults. Luin looked over. He saw a child running. It was clearly just a child, but the adults behind him could not catch up because the child was teleporting. His name is Lu Li. He awakened the teleportation talent a few days ago, Patriarch Lu Yuan explained. Luin looked at the child's innocent running. It was a stark contrast to the stifling atmosphere of the mausoleum, and he did not know how long that happiness would last. Perhaps if he went into seclusion for a while, the child would grow up. Perhaps, in a random battle, the child would be sacrificed. The death of every emotional attachment was a blow to himself. Luin retracted his gaze. Patriarch, life is so fragile. Patriarch Lu Yuan sighed and patted Lu Yin's shoulder. But it's endless. Luin walked out of the mausoleum and saw Lu Bujing standing not far away, seemingly waiting for him. Luin went over. Third uncle. Lu Bujing had also been injured in the battle. His aura was unstable and his face was still pale. However, his life was not in danger. I hope I didn't disturb you. Luin shook his head. Are you looking for me because of Lu Xuan? Lu Bujing nodded. When will he be back? Luin said, I'll go take a look. Thank you. Lu Bujing was grateful. Luin said, I should be thanking him. He's helping me. Lu Bujing. He's helping human civilization, not just you. Also, I'm not just thanking you for this. He then looked at the mausoleum. Luin understood. If Lu Xuan had not created the star chart and stayed in the three universes like Lu Feiyang and the others, he might have died in this battle. The enemy would try to kill those who could teleport. Lu Bujing was thankful for this. No one can predict when the war will come. Third uncle is thanking me for this. If Lu Xuan encounters a war next time, he'll hate me. Luin smiled. Lu Bujing sighed deeply. With a child, my mentality has changed. I used to be fearless, and I even dared to provoke fate during the Above Heaven sect. With the help of the ancestors, I cultivated the ancestral chi of the three sons, and I was confident that I could step into the progenitor realm. Now, the progenitor realm is no longer a difficult realm to reach. I've already stepped into it, but I no longer have the ambition. I just hope that Lu Xuan can take every step well. Even if he dies, don't let down the family's nurturing. Luin understood. Don't worry, he's very outstanding. He then teleported away, taking out the black unknown portal and passing through it. In truth, he did not know where Lu Xuan was. Perhaps he was quite far away from the three universes. He came to the coordinates and looked around, using the Lu family's unique method to find Lu Xuan. Lu Xuan looked into the distance and recorded the star chart. When Luin appeared, he quickly bowed. Master Lu. Luin grunted. How is it? Lu Wan said, it can be completed in 100 years at most. It's faster than expected. Luin praised, it's been more than 1,000 years. It's been hard. Lu Xuan said respectfully, I only hope it can be of help to Master Lu. Call me seventh bro. Lu Xuan's body shook and he looked at Luin in surprise. Luin smiled. In terms of seniority, you are much older than me. Is it wrong to call me seventh bro? Lu Xuan was excited. Thank you, Master Lu. No, seventh bro. Luin did not tell him about the war between the three universes. He would know about it when he returned. He took Lu Xuan to the Mirage domain and helped him improve the distance he could see with his mirroring technique. In the past, he could only see the distance of an ordinary eternal life realm speed of 70 years. Now, it was 200 years and it was more convenient to complete the star chart. After sending Lu Xuan to draw the star chart, Luin returned to Lu Tianjing and told Lu Bujing about the situation. Lu Bujing was grateful. After Luin left Lu Tianjing, third uncle Lu Bujing's temperament changed completely. Having a child meant that he was more concerned about his bloodline. Was this different from his concern for human civilization? Luin teleported to the top of the mother tree, where an eagle flew by and cried out. Then the ancestral mang crawled around the trunk, causing it to sway slightly. Don't worry, I will definitely find senior primogenitor, Luin said. The eagle cried out again and flew into the distance. The ancestral mang did not go far and instead stayed on the trunk, just like when it was in the mortal realm. Luin suddenly looked in another direction, where a familiar person came into view on a huge branch. Hurry up, we have been watching it for so long. We will definitely get it this time. I don't want to go, it stinks. The smellier the better. I have a premonition that it will definitely transform. You have been saying this for thousands of years. Good little girl, you dare to talk back to Lord Fish? I think you don't want to surpass that Luin. Shh, don't talk nonsense. You can't say Master Lu's name or you will be beaten up. What are you afraid of? He is Lord Fish's human pet, so you can call him whatever you want. Stop talking, I will help you find it. I don't want to be beaten up again. You're as timid as a mouse. Lord Fish should not have hesitated back then. Luin begged to be Lord Fish's mount, but Lord Fish did not even spare him a glance and chose you instead. How sad, you can't even beat that stupid bird, and Lord Fish has to secretly chase after you. Alright, I understand. What kind of tone is that? You dare to be impatient? Hurry up and find it for Lord Fish. You must find it. What are you looking for? A voice asked. None of your business. Do I need to explain what I am looking for to you? I will help you. The voice stopped abruptly and Luin grinned as he looked in front of him. Xianxia stared at him with wide eyes and subconsciously covered the cheap fish's mouth, afraid that it would say something unpleasant. The cheap fish also reacted at this point, and it looked at Luin with its eyes rolling. What are you looking for? Luin was curious. Xianxia hurriedly bowed. Greetings, Master Lu. Luin looked at the cheap fish above her head. How many years had it been? This pair was still like this. When he had first come into contact with lock breaking, he had seen Xianxia unlock a source box. At the time, he had been rather envious, but who would have thought that she would unlock such a cheap fish? From then on, Xianxia's life had taken a different direction, one that left countless people dumbfounded. She had been turned into a fish's mount. This fish's mouth was especially foul. Even though this fish had some ability, it had originally been used by the progenitor to train the Xianxia. However, ancestor Lu Yuan had wanted to make it more exciting, so he had taught the cheap fish. Soon after, the cheap fish had been enlightened, and the Xianxia had been unlucky. As time passed, this cheap fish had become even more unbridled and had a foul mouth, daring to say anything. Chapter 45:11. Master Lu, why are you here? Xianxia's appearance had not changed much. Although her cultivation had greatly improved and she was much older, she still had the innocent look of a young girl. Her aggrieved temperament was very obvious. She had been bullied by this despicable fish. Luin smiled. Let it go. I think it has something to say. Xianxia's face paled, but she did not dare. Once she let it go, who knew what this despicable fish would say? It's fine, Xianxia. We're old friends, right? Luin smiled. There's also this fish. Xianxia was helpless and could only let go of the despicable fish's mouth. If she did not, the despicable fish would bite her, and its tail was already whipping the back of her head. Oh, isn't this Luin? Long time no see, ha. At this point, Xianxia covered its mouth. The despicable fish was furious, and it kept whipping the back of Xianxia's head. Luin smiled. Yes, long time no see. It really had been a long time, and he could not even remember the last time he had seen this despicable fish. It seemed that the above heaven sect had not been established yet. Too many old friends had disappeared in the river of time, and some people simply could not remember them. Xianxia let go and the despicable fish panted. I've decided on you. Come help Lord Fish. Before it could finish speaking, Xianxia was shocked and she covered its mouth again. Luin asked, What are you looking for? Xianxia blushed. And nothing. Her hand suddenly twitched as she had been bitten. It hurt. Damn brat, why are you covering Lord Fish's mouth? Are you rebelling? Xianxia was furious and she rolled her eyes. Fine, I won't care about you anymore. Whatever you say, it's your business to be punished by Master Lu. After scolding Xianxia, the despicable fish smiled at Luin. We're looking for poop. Luin? Xianxia covered her face. This was too embarrassing. The atmosphere became heavy. Silence. Even though Luin had experienced many storms, he did not know how to respond. He could tell that the despicable fish was serious and was not joking around. Xianxia's expression was proof. Luin, we're old friends. Come help me find it. The despicable fish was excited. Luin looked at cheap fish and then at Xianxia. Your hobbies are quite unique. Xianxia really wanted to just drop down and die. She had been ridiculed for thousands of years by a fish riding on her head, but now why was her life so bitter? Cheap fish slapped his tail. That's right, I told you that you are the human pet that Lord Fish should choose. This damn girl is not cooperating at all. Only you can understand Lord Fish's hobby. Come, Luin, have fun searching with Lord Fish. Alright, enough. Xianxia couldn't help but want to send that cheap fish flying with a slap. Cheap fish was furious. Damn girl, you still want to be a burden? Be careful that Lord Fish doesn't abandon you. Xianxia's face flushed red, and she continuously bowed to Luin. Master Lu, I'm sorry. I'll take it away right now. Please don't mind what it says, it's gone crazy. Cheap Fish crazily slapped the back of Xiqi's head. You're the one with a screw loose. This is a hobby and also an instinct. Lord Fish has a premonition that it will definitely transform. Go and find it for me. You must find it. Where did that damn bird fly to? Was it that difficult to find its poop? It must be very smelly and it must have been hidden somewhere. Go and find it. We'll definitely find it. Shut up. Xiqi covered Cheap Fish's mouth. This time she didn't let go no matter how much it bit. Lu Yin coughed, somewhat regretting speaking to them. Then I won't hinder you. Do as you please. Xiqi hurriedly leaped down away from Lu Yin. The further away the better. This was too embarrassing. Right, I have something for you guys. Lu Yin recalled that stinky item. He hadn't used it in a very long time. The last time he had taken it out was to deal with the Jianghu. This item's stench was something that even the sequence laws could not conceal, which was inconceivable. Back then Lu Yin had not been able to crush it, but now he definitely could. However, he didn't want to touch it. Since Cheap Fish liked this smell, he would give it to it. The stinky item fell into Xiqi's arms, and a lifetime of trauma appeared. This stench was enough to make the Jianghu run away with its tail between its legs. Lu Yin and the others could not bear it, and Xiqi almost fainted. Cheap Fish was so excited that it almost fainted, as if it had seen the love of its life. In Nina Firmament's universe, Xianxia had been very vexed recently. Ever since the battle between the three universes, she realized that her luck had worsened. Bad things kept happening one after another, and these things had not bothered her in the past. In the past, everything had gone according to her wishes. Whenever there was trouble, it would automatically disappear before she could even do anything. She could easily obtain whatever she wanted. She was not used to this situation. As the first peak master of the Death Hillock's 3 mountains and 7 peaks, she had the fewest subordinates because she did not need to deal with anything. Now, however, she was very busy. Reporting to Peak Master, the news that we received was fake. The people who really wanted to steal the spirit seed have already moved. Xianxia was helpless and her snow-white fingers rubbed her head. Got it. Continue looking. Understood. She was not the only one who was not used to it, as the people from the first peak were not used to it either. When had they ever failed to find a mission in the past? Even if they were lost, they would still coincidentally bump into the person they needed to deal with. But now they had been played. It seems like you're very vexed. Lu Yin's voice traveled over. Xianxia looked over and saw Lu Yin standing outside the first peak looking into the distance. She walked over to his side. When did you arrive? Just now. You saw it? Your good luck, is it gone? Xianxia nodded helplessly. It's gone ever since the battle between the three universes. Lu Yin looked at Xianxia. Gone? He recalled the word luck that had been burned to ashes and Xianxia's injuries. She had not participated in the battle, but she had still been injured. There was blood on the ground. Is it related to me? Xianxia replied, I don't know, but it should be. She looked at Lu Yin with a hint of schadenfreude. Although I'm not used to it, I'd rather lose my good luck. Perhaps I could walk the path of immortality. But you're different. Master Lu, if my good luck is used up because of you, then do you think the backlash will be you or me? Lu Yin smiled bitterly. I hope it's you. Xianxia rolled her eyes. You're really not polite. But it should be me, Lu Yin said. Because those 3 words turned to ashes? Xianxia asked. Lu Yin nodded. You saw it? Xianxia grunted. Seeing those words turn to ashes with my own eyes. To be honest, it's a little strange. Is it as strange as your injuries? Yes, I don't even know why I spat out blood. Strange, isn't it? Lu Yin frowned. That was the most unsettling thing. The 3 universes had been fixed in place by the primogenitor's palace, and it had not been long before the seal had been broken. Nan Ling had wanted to kill Grandmaster Qing Xiao, and the God King had wanted to destroy the people of the Tianyuan universe. Lu Yin had just broken through and returned. It would be strange if he did not have luck, but how had the timing been so accurate? The 3 words had turned to ashes and Xianxia had spat out blood. It had all happened at that time. At that moment he had used up all of his good luck. If he had not been lucky, what would have happened? The people of the Tianyuan universe had died? Grandmaster Qing Xiao had died? Or even the universe had been rebooted? Did that count as him changing karma? Just the thought of the backlash was terrifying. The amount of happiness that good luck could bring was equal to the amount of disaster that bad luck could bring. In the path of karma there was a cause and effect. He had saved the 3 universes because of his breakthrough in strength, but also because of his luck. His breakthrough in strength had allowed him to close the karma binding him. So where was the karma effect? Xianxia waved a hand in front of Lu Yin. What, are you scared? Lu Yin admitted, a little. Your master Lu, the strongest person in human civilization. Even that traitor red hero might not be your match. How can you be scared? I'm scared. People are never scared of what they can see clearly but what they can't see clearly. That's true. How about this? I'll do my best to recover my luck. As long as my luck is good, you'll be able to rest easy. What does that have to do with your luck? It means that you haven't ruined my good luck. Lu Yin was speechless. Xianxia suddenly smiled. If I really don't have any luck, then you won't need me. It seems that it won't be so easy to see you in the future. Lu Yin smiled and left. Next up was Dongshu Mountain, but there was no rush. He would have to wait a few more years. The battle between Dongshu Mountain and Delight City had ended, but he did not immediately head over to prevent the unknown and undead universes from spying on him. If they found him at Dongshu Mountain, they would know that he knew about the battle between Dongshu Mountain and Delight City, and they would be able to guess what was going on. His own clone. He could not be discovered. He returned to his seclusion grounds in the Xuanhuan universe and sat down cross-legged to cultivate. He did not do so to increase his cultivation, but rather to calm his heart. He thought about the past. Several years passed in this manner. Lu Yin opened his eyes, walked out of the void and headed towards Dongshu Mountain. He teleported time and time again until he was close to the speed of an eternal realm cultivator who had been cultivating for 200 years. When he had first seen Dongshu Mountain with his skeleton clone, he had seen a blurry mountain that seemed to be hidden within the void. At the time, his attention had been focused on wuxia, so he had not been able to see the mountain clearly. However, he could still vaguely remember its outline. Now, the location was still the same, but the mountain was no longer blurry. Instead, it was clearly visible within a square inch. There were dilapidated walls and shattered peaks everywhere. Water mixed with bones and aquatic plants flowed everywhere. There was also blood of various colors. It was a completely ruined place. Dongshu Mountain was not as large as a universe, but it still contained countless stars and countless life forms. Even though many had died, there were still many life forms left. In the past, Lu Yin had thought that Dongshu Mountain was a universe of its own, but now it seemed that this was not the case. Otherwise, the battle would have already begun. From another perspective, although Dongshu Mountain was not a universe, it was connected to a small branch of a large tree that covered a square inch of space. The only thing missing was the mother tree, which was the branch itself. There did not seem to be any powerhouses from the unknown or undead universes left behind. Lu Yin looked at Dongshu Mountain and teleported once more, arriving outside of it. At such a close distance, Dongshu Mountain was spectacular. It was much larger than the above heaven sect, and there were countless stars revolving within. Some of the caves even contained stars. The stars encompassed the vast starry sky of the universe. Chapter 45:12. If there were creatures that had walked out of those stars, it would be hard to imagine that they hadn't even made it out of a single cave. Lu Yin suddenly looked up. Then, could this be the case for the core space as well? He had similar thoughts too many times, but they were just random thoughts. Lu Yin focused his attention back on Dongshu Mountain. He tapped the void with a finger behind his back, causing ripples to spread throughout the entire mountain. He was using his power to investigate the mountain's situation. As the power spread throughout the entire grotto void mountain, the most powerful creature within the mountain was only at the level of sequence laws. It had experienced a great battle and was hiding in a corner, trembling. It was an algae-like creature, just like Senior Yowu. Perhaps Yuchei's main body was the same, but Lu Yin hadn't seen it. This was also Senior Yuwu's hometown. Lu Yin retracted his power and stepped into Dongshu Mountain. Since this was Senior Yuwu's hometown, he would try to see if he could hide it again as a way of helping Senior Yuwu. However, it was impossible for human civilization to accept this civilization. Senior Yuwu was here, but Yuchei was also a half-traitor. Yuchei had died in outer space, and Lu Yin quickly found a fragment of his heaven-forged sword, a fragment of the green hanging coffin, and a fragment of the door. It had wanted to leave, but it hadn't been able to. Even the green sword had been shattered. Lu Yin searched the void, but as expected, he couldn't find the green thread. It was a pity. If he could obtain it, he could try the four-color transformation. With his eternal life realm life force, he would definitely be able to withstand it, or even more. Sometimes he wondered why 8 colors was called 8 colors. Could it really use 8 colors god power? This idea was a little frightening, but not impossible. It was possible. Up until now, the unknowns did not have an absolute master. The 8 colors only issued missions. Some of the unknowns were fine even if they pretended to obey, like himself, Xuanhuan, Red Hero, and so on. If the rules of the unknowns were bigger than the sky, it was destined that there would be no absolute master. Lu Yin disappeared again and reappeared in front of a waterfall in Dongshu Mountain. Most of the deathly silence's power remained here, and the door was also shattered. This should be where Yu Che had been. There was another world behind the waterfall, and Lu Yin stepped in to see ruins that had been destroyed by the war. However, there were still some areas behind the ruins that were still intact. Lu Yin teleported out, and in front of him were giant stone walls that extended diagonally into the ground. These walls were intact and they were made of extraordinary materials. Lu Yin walked over to the first stone wall. There was a painting on the stone wall. The style of the painting was rough, but it was very real. If one looked at it seriously, there was a formless energy lingering around it. Was this the power of a heart technique? Lu Yin's gaze turned cold. These paintings had come from Yu Che, and he'd used a mental technique to draw them. Heart skills were born from the heart. Although it was called a skill, it was actually the heart. Every stroke did not depend on the skill but on the heart. It was the same principle as walking in the world and comprehending one's state of mind. It wasn't a brush that had created these paintings but mental strength. In the first mural, a small green algae was being carried by an even larger green algae into a hazy starry sky. In the starry sky, one could vaguely see a city that looked like a dreamy palace. Sensing his heart force, Lu Yin subconsciously raised a hand to touch the mural. Everything around him seemed to have been reversed in time. He traveled through the endless years and saw the magnificent universe. That was the 5th stronghold. Xiaoche. Master has brought you to the 5th stronghold of human civilization. Here they will not treat you as an alien. Humans are a very tolerant civilization and they will not look down on us. You will be living here in the future. Do you like it? The naive voice was filled with apprehension, anticipation, and a little fear. Master, what are humans? Humans are a race. They are the civilization that is best for us in the universe. Best for us? Yes, best for us. His hand touched nothing. The first mural ended and Lu Yin walked down step by step. It was as if there was an invisible staircase that followed the mural downwards. His hand touched the second mural, and at this moment, his heart force seemed to be more familiar. Xiaoche, come quickly. Senior brother will show you something fun. Senior brother, wait for me. Xiaoche, don't be rude. How can you chase after senior brother? Master, senior brother told me to chase after him. Senior Yu Wu, this junior told Xiaoche to chase after him. There's something fun ahead. I see. Xiaoche, just follow senior brother. Don't play around. Got it, master. Senior sister? You're here too? Xiao. It's Xiaoche. But senior sister likes to call you Xiao. What should I do? As long as senior sister likes it. Ha, Xiao is so nice. Only senior sister can call you that in the future, okay? Xiao. Yes, senior sister. His hand touched nothing again and he walked down the stairs. The third mural. Stop being naughty and stand properly. The base master will be here soon. Don't make him angry. Xiao, you're standing crooked. Senior sister, it's the wind. Ha. Senior brother, don't make fun of me. Shu, the base master is here. From today onwards, all of you will start learning my heart force technique. My 5th stronghold's heart force technique is invincible. It's enough for all of you to enjoy for the rest of your lives. This was Xiangshue's voice. Yu Wu was standing beside him, looking kindly at everyone. Among them there was a small green algae that stood out. But in Xiangshue's eyes, it was no different from the others. A senior brother raised his hand and asked, Base Master, I heard that the 4th stronghold has a heaven's eye that can shoot out divine light. It's invincible in the universe. Is that true? Xiangxue said, My heart force technique is not inferior to the heaven's eye. Another person raised his hand and asked, Base Master, legend has it that the 6th stronghold's starry fist is truly invincible. When cultivated to the extreme, no one can stop it. Is that true? Can I learn the starry fist? Xiangxue was stricter. You're biting off more than you can chew. You haven't even cultivated your heart force technique, yet you want to learn something else. You deserve a beating. Base Master, I want to learn the 7 needles of hell. I heard it can cure illnesses. Are you sick? Xiangxue was angry. Yes, I'm sick. You're sick? What illness? Xiangxue was surprised. He could tell at a glance whether these children had any hidden ailments. If you're sick, you'll be cured. If you're not sick, you'll strengthen your body. Xianxia was speechless. Yuwu tried to hold back his laughter. Xianxia glared at the child. Stop being naughty. Go cure your stuttering. A girl raised her hand and was very excited. Xianxia glared at her. What are you trying to say now? The girl blinked her starry eyes as if a shooting star had streaked across the sky. I want to enter Xiang City. Xianxia was taken aback. What? The girl smiled and said, I heard it's a very simple place. There's also the true invincible heart force technique of our fifth stronghold hidden there, the Heart of Destiny technique. Xianxia reprimanded her. You haven't even learned your heart force technique, yet you want to learn the Heart of Destiny technique? Behave yourselves. All of you are so mischievous and immature. I think this generation is done for. Yuwu advised, they're still children. Xianxia shook his head helplessly. When I was their age, I was already immersed in my books and couldn't extricate myself. So I forget it. There's no hope of winning the 9 bases tournament if we count on them. It looks like we have to think of another way. Yuwu was curious. What way? Xianxia put his hands behind his back and looked out into the starry sky. If they don't study hard, the kids from the other strongholds can forget about studying hard either. All of you. Yes, sir, the group of children answered. Xianxia looked at them seriously. I have a serious mission for all of you. The children were excited. There was a mission. They felt like they had a mission to save the world. Base Master, please give us your orders. Xianxia pointed. Bring the children from the other strongholds out to play. Play until they don't want to go home. Yes, sir. The children were so excited that their faces flushed red. As long as you can do it, all of you will be able to enter Xiang City. Yes, sir. In the crowd, Clarella shouted louder than anyone else, competing with her senior brothers and sisters. She was so happy that she swayed left and right. Yuwu could only smile bitterly at the sight of this. He had dreamt of the ancient times and it was as if he could see this scene. Looking at the innocent smiling faces of those children, he couldn't help but feel happy as well. His hand touched the 4th mural. A young man was standing on a mountain peak with one hand in front and the other behind. He looked very elegant and wore a long white robe. He looked like a scholar. But if one looked closely, they would realize that this young man's temperament was exactly the same as Xianxia's. Xiao, come here quickly. The young man was startled and hurriedly withdrew his hand from his chest. He vaguely put away a piece of paper. Xiao, what are you hiding? Let senior sister take a look. A rather beautiful girl rushed over and stared at the young man slyly. The young man shyly replied, Senior sister, it's nothing. It's just a letter from Master. Who are you trying to fool? Senior Yuwu has already returned. Why would he send you a letter? What? Master is back? That's great. I'll go find Master. Stop right there and hand it over. Senior sister, don't snatch it. Give it to me. Senior sister, please respect yourself. Give it to me. Crack. The girl's feet cracked the mountain peak, and her body fell along with the shattered rocks. The young man hurriedly grabbed her. Senior sister, be careful. The girl looked at the young man, her eyes filled with confusion. Xiao, did you just use a mental technique? Yes. But how did you manage to push me back? The young man was stunned and somewhat flustered. He didn't know how to answer. The girl stared at the young man. Xiao, you've surpassed me, right? You've been going easy on me, haven't you? The young man pulled the girl up. It was fine even if they fell from the mountain peak. The girl looked deeply at the young man and without saying a word, she turned and left. The young man looked at the girl. Senior sister? The girl didn't even turn her head as her figure gradually disappeared. The paper in the young man's arms fell to the ground with the wind. He could vaguely make out the words, That's why I like you, senior sister. Only you can call me Xiao. These were the words he had written to his senior sister. The mental technique caused Lu Yin to feel sorrow and confusion. It was as if he had become one with the young man. He didn't understand why the way his senior sister looked at him had changed. He didn't know how to show his senior sister this piece of paper to her. Her final gaze caused him to feel suffocated. You're tuning in to the Sword Dance in the Vast Sky YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.